Today we're getting started on the rear disc brake conversion for Frankenstein. Okay, so here's where we're at with the trailing arm assembly. So far I've gotten everything undone that needs to be undone. The only thing left holding it on is this bolt right up here, which it has fused itself inside the bushing. So it broke off inside and now it just spins the bushing and it won't come out. So I've cut it once away from the bushing, and now I'm trying to cut the head off of it, and maybe that'll give me enough room where I can get it off. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm gonna grab a grinder and see if I can get it up in there, and hopefully we can get this thing off today.
One eternity later.
Well, after about a full day of work, here's where we're at. So I was able to get the rear trailing arm off, which was no easy feat. I used the grinder to get the bolt out of this hole right here, and that gave it just enough give that I could pry this up and over the bolt head, or where the head used to be, and then it let loose. So it is off now. Coming in here now, this is what's giving me the most trouble, is this piece right here, which I guess is called the compensator. This is the one that I had to cut because it was seized in the trailing arm. Now I realize how rusty it is down here, so now I'm gonna have to get in and clean everything up. So I have tried to remove this bolt, just round it off, nothing would loosen it. I have a rounded bolt head remover kit, and it didn't work either, so I tried welding a bigger head onto it. The welds wouldn't hold because my welder doesn't get hot enough, and it's just so rusty that it just contaminates the welds. So I think my next option is going to be to get a grinder and slice it off right here. That'll allow me to get the compensator out. Everything in it is seized, so I'm obviously gonna have to order something new. I think I'm gonna end up ordering a tow arm kit from Trueheart. I've heard a lot of good things about them, and then at least it's new parts in there. So I am not looking forward to this because I'm gonna have to cut that off, and then whatever's left over inside I'm gonna have to drill out. Once I have it drilled out, I'm gonna have to weld a new nut into there so I have something to bolt the Trueheart tow arm into. So it's going to be a bit of a process, but I think once it's done, it's really going to pay off, because then I can get up here, fix all of that rust, and just basically need to sand everything down, get it rust proofed again, and it just needs a really good cleanup under here because it is a mess. So once I get it done and do it right, then I don't have to worry about it again. I'm going to keep my camber arm that I had in here. It still looks to be in okay shape. It is kind of old, so I'm going to clean it up a bit. I was getting pretty frustrated with the whole trailing arm thing, so I thought I would come over here and move on to something else. So before I install the new one, I'm going to have to get my energy suspension bushing put in here. I've been trying to get it on there and it just doesn't want to go. I probably have to bring it to a shop and get them to press it in for me, because every technique I'm trying isn't working, and it's just, I don't know. Nothing seems to be working out right now, but here's my camber arm. It's a little dirty, and as you can see it has white paint on it, so obviously it was on the car when it was painted white. I'm going to clean that up. I'll probably scuff it up a bit and maybe do a respray on it or something like that, or I might just be able to sand this paint off of here and clean it up a bit. We'll see. I want to get everything under there cleaned up again so it looks new. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits for today. I'm pretty wiped from this, so I think I'm just going to head inside and rest a bit and regroup, and hopefully we have a bit more luck tomorrow.
The next day.
Alright, I got my grinder ready to go, and I picked up Some good quality cobalt drill bits. So let's start tearing into this thing. Okay, so I got it all welded up and the bolt threads in there really nicely. So now I just gotta wait for the parts to get here. So hopefully it doesn't take too long. So what I'm gonna do in the meantime is clean up this wheel well because it is in a rough shape. I'm basically gonna do exactly what I did to the front wheel wells, where I took some brake clean and scrubbed it out with a wire brush. And that's going to clean off all of this undercoating. It's going to reveal if there's any rust underneath it. Then I can fix that and then recoat it, and then it should be nice and clean again. So basically I'm just going to get this coilover out of here, just 2 bolts from the top. And then I also want to get this lower control arm out of here because I have a nice powder coated one now. And then once everything's undercoated again, then I'll install all the nice parts because I don't want to get any undercoating on them.
Aside from my soul, there goes a sight, there goes a sight, there goes a sight from my soul.
Alright guys, it's a few days later now. I got most of the parts together that I need to get this rear end put back together. But last time you saw, I undercoated it and it's all nice and dry now. So that's rust proofed and ready to go. I also got my parts in that I ordered. So these are my True Heart tow arms that I ordered. And some other good news is I got the bushing most of the way in. The trailing arm, and I was having a lot of trouble with it before, but I figured out a way to get it installed. So basically I put this big washer that I have on top, stuck a bolt through, and this is actually a pulley off of an SR20, and basically I just stuck the bolt through, put a nut on there and tightened the bolt, and that compressed it enough that it pushed the bushing through. So we're pretty much on the home stretch here. And yeah, I'm gonna look at getting this all done tonight. Alright, so I got all my parts and all my hardware laid out. Everything's pretty much ready to go in. So got the coil over here, and then I have my lower control arm. This is the new powder coated one. I put my skunk tube bushings back in. This is what the old one used to look like. So much cleaner. I got my True Heart tow arm, which is replacing the compensator. I cleaned up my camber arm, so I got all the white paint off of it, and then I threw some clear coat on it, so it actually looks pretty good now. Trailing arm, obviously, and my energy suspension bushing is in and cleaned up. In comparison, this is what it used to look like, so a lot better. And then this is the pin that goes through it. I sanded down all the rust on it and threw clear coat on that as well. And this is what it used to look like, so a lot cleaner. Now it's time to put it all in the car. Right?
Yep.
Alright, so the wheel well is all nice and cleaned up now. No more rust. And I got all my tools laid out. And the most important thing of all is anti-seize. So in Canada, we have to use anti-seize on all of our fasteners, or else they will get seized, which is what I had to deal with previously. So I don't want to deal with that again. So let's get into it.
So this is nice and clean, and so then you're going to put the wheel back on, but when there was nothing on there to put the wheel on, so they had to put the thing on so he hand put the wheel on.
Well, we can't put the wheel on yet. We gotta put all those parts over there in here first, right?
Yep. Wait.
Alright, well, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's video. I got the trailing arm on, which is what I wanted. Everything seems to be lining up pretty good. I won't know for sure how well the toe arms line up until I get the wheels on and I can get a wheel alignment done. But basically now I just got to put the brakes on, so I have ordered some braided brake lines, so I'm waiting for those to come in. I also need some new wheel bearings for on here because I had a look at my other ones there and they're pretty shot. I thought I could maybe clean them up and re-grease them, but there's no way to save them. So I'll just wait for those to come in, and basically that's all I need now. So once those are in, then I can get started on the brakes. But until then, I'm going to call it done on this side. I'll probably get started on the other side right away. It's basically going to be the same process. So yeah, if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. There's a lot more updates coming for this car and our other projects too. So stay tuned for that. Leave a comment below if you have any suggestions for me, or maybe something that'll make it easier on the other side. If you've done this before, then that would help, because this was a pain in the butt to do. I'm just glad that this side's done, but I'm not really looking forward to the other side, so I'll be happy when it's all done. But yeah, we'll see you next time.